What's up, everyone? Ben Grove here with my Black Bolt and White Flare cube review. We're going to be taking a look at what cards you can expect to be great additions to your cube when products from the set start releasing on July 18th. As always, make sure to check out cubekoga.net for great resources, Discord links, and cube building inspiration. And check out justinbasil.com, another great alternate format resource and source of all the translations in the video. Just a reminder, when I review a new set for Cube, I rarely talk about the big poster child card EXs. I'm more interested in cards that can mesh well with other cards from other eras, and I don't know, a 230 HP basic EX doesn't really mesh well with cards from Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, so right into the cards here. First up, a trio of cards they're essentially reskinned older cards. If you have a singleton cube, including any of these might be for you. Brave Bangle is just a rehash of Silver Bangle for new EXs. Ignition Energy is triple XL or Boost Energy that can be attached to basics, which is like a nice little upside to them. And End's Plot is not necessarily a really great card, but if you're looking for another Poppy-like effect that moves energy around, it moves 2 energy from anywhere on the bench to the active. Unfortunately, because these are special sets that are meant to evoke all of the Gen 5 cards when they first came out, there are a lot of reprints or spiritual reprints in the Pokemon cards here. I'm not going to go over all the examples, but you can see most of them are just like bigger numbers and better attack costs. So there's technically a potential if you've had some of these cards floating around and you're like, oh man, I would really love to be able to use this effect, but it's just like not strong enough. Well, chances are there's a stronger version coming out in these two sets. All right, moving on to some actual cubable cards. We'll start with some evolving basics here. The Tepig and Tynamo are probably the best basic we've had for each of these Evo lines. This is the first 70 HP Tepig that only has 1 retreat, and this is the first free retreat Tynamo. So great on both fronts. The Patrat and the Frillish here, they're really great basics for their lines. I'm not going to go out there and say that Jellicent and Watchog have really great cards that you can put in cubes, but if you do have one for some reason in your cube, the Sea Shadows attack on Frillish that locks item cards, or the Patrat that can search your deck for item cards, really great starting basics. The Frillish also, by the way, is the only Psychic type Frillish that's been printed, and it's the only one that's Heavy Ball searchable, which is actually a really good combo because a lot of the Jellicents are Heavy Ball searchable. Then probably the best evolving basic in the sets is Purloin, with its Evil Invitation attack. Search your deck for up to 3 dark Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. That's just really good. I mean, there's a trade live part out there, so I anticipate this will see a lot of cube play and probably also some GLC play as well. Now moving into some evolved Pokemon. The first one up here is Swadloon. With the Leaf Heal ability, once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. Now this isn't necessarily a new ability that we've seen this before on, like, I think a Shaman. So it's not anything groundbreaking, but I think it's cool that it's in the Leavanny line, which Leavanny does not have that many really strong cards. It's got one from the Sun and Moon era that reduces damage to grass Pokemon by 40. But so I think pairing that with an evolving Mon that heals 20 as well, I'd really like to see some cubes out there that have grass as this like tanking archetype, because there are a lot of really great grass cards that facilitate that, especially some that have come out within the past couple years, like the Swelling Tune Kricketune here. So I think that would be something that would be a really effective grass package in a cube, would be ones that either buff HP or reduce damage or heal damage. And this Swadloon fits right into it. Yeah, great card. Next up is Volcarona with the Torrid Scales ability. You must discard a basic fire energy from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burned. great ability, and there's a lot of things that over the course of time that will synergize with it. You can see here there's another Volcarona from Dark Explorers that basically doubles the amount of damage that burn does. And there's an Infernape that adds damage to burn. There's a Pyroar. There's a Rapidash. The second cube video I'm talking about Rapidash in a row, which is awesome. You could basically mix and match this with whatever other Pokemon you want out there that has synergy with burn. Just look up the keyword burn on pkmncards.com, and you'll find something that can pair really well with Volcarona. The two that I kind of wanted to spotlight is first and foremost Blaziken FB level X. This goes great with Blaziken. Blaziken's Burning Spirit Pokebody increases damage done to burned Pokemon by 40. So in effect, you're doing a damage buff of 60 damage. And so Jet Shoot on Blaziken FB level X can deal up to 140 damage for 2 energy, which for a card that was printed in 2009, it's a base, it's a level X, I guess. So it's a stage 1 that kind of can still swing with the best of them from today. So I think that's really awesome. It's a really cool combo. Or you could also pair it up. There's another level X that I thought would go great with this is Heatran level X, which prevents the special condition burn from being removed by evolving or devolving. And whenever your opponent flips a coin for burn, they treat it as tails. So that's just a really cool and unique way to keep burn going thematically, and I think this Heatran's a really cool card that doesn't see enough recognition out there. I'm always in for cards that don't have any attacks on them. I think that's kind of fun. Next up here we have a Gothitelle with the Twisted Future ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may have your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 3 cards. Then the Synchro Shot attack, which does 90 damage, and if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, this attack does 90 more damage. You can immediately see the synergy between the ability and the attack, and basically you want to get your hand down to 3 cards so you can set your opponent down to 3 and deal 180 damage for 2 energy. This card definitely is on the highest end of cube play, I think, in terms of power. You can't just stick this in with really any of the other cards that I've highlighted so far, the Swadloon or the Volcarona. They're all at a lower level of power than this Gothitelle, which really kind of swings for the fences. But I think what I like most about this card is it makes gameplay fun. And you're kind of having to play the mini game of getting your hand paired it down to the right hand size, or in draft, taking the right cards that are going to help you do that. It could be a card like Judge, which will just set your hands to the same amount at 4. And then you just don't get to play any cards after the Judge. But if you did want to play one, then you could still just Twisted Future and shuffle your opponent down to 3. So I think this cards like this, and this ability isn't new. There's a Flygon that has a similar thing, shuffling down to 4, but you get to choose you or your opponent. I just think this encourages fun draft gameplay as well as fun gameplay in game. So definitely want to highlight this card because of that. And the final Pokemon I'm going to highlight is the Klinklang with the Gear Coating ability. Each of your Pokemon with any metal attached take 20 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attacks. By itself, the 20 damage reduction is fine. It's good, but I don't think necessarily just on its own it will prevent your opponent from doing what they want to do. The Klinklang's probably in a space where like you're going to be trading 2-hit KOs anyway, and the 20 damage either way might not necessarily impact the 2-hit KO that's happening. But in Metal, there's tons of things that you can supplement this that will increase that damage reduction even more, whether it's special Metal Energy or cards like Metal Frying Pan. There's a lot of ways in metal to tank, and this card is I think a reasonable card that doesn't do it at such an extreme rate. There have always been a lot of Kling Klangs out there that could be used for cube that just barely missed the mark. So I'd be happy to see some cubes with this Kling Klang in it, because I think it really thematically fits what you envision metal types to be doing. All right, final card we're going to talk about today is definitely the best card in both of these sets, which is Hilda. Search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This card can fit in just about every single cube out there. In some cubes, it might be like one of the most powerful cards in the entire cube that you might want to consider as a first pick in some slower cubes. In some more aggressive and more higher powered cubes, it's just a really solid contributor that is never going to let you down, no matter what your deck is. The best part about this card is the fact that it just references just an energy card, just like Colress Tenacity. A lot of cards with a similar templating in the past specifically are going to refer to basic energy, but with these recent cards that they've released in Gen 9, they've just gone ahead and said, okay, energy card. So that can be really, really valuable in cube, because a lot of times you're running just like one-off energy. It could be like I'm using my Hilda to search for my one-off counter energy or reversal energy, or my one of strong energy, or there are a lot of really powerful special energy that this card kind of unlocks. And just searching for an evolution the Pokemon as well. Yeah, I mean, Professor Elm's training method is like a perfectly reasonable card to play in your deck in a lot of cubes, but this is just Elm's training method with upside, which is insane. So this card, I'm definitely putting it in my cube, because my IRL cube has strong energy, it's got reversal energy, it's got double colorless energy, it's got double rainbow energy. So there's a lot of applications for this, and I also have Jirachi EX in there, so whoever drafts a Jirachi EX can tutor for their Hilda to get their big power play energy card and their big power play evolution all in one turn and just swing for the fences. So really excited to play with this card. And that's about it. This being a special set, there's not too much to review, especially with how many essential reprints there are in these sets. But yeah. What cards did you think I missed? What else are you looking forward to in Black Bolt and White Flare? Let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I'll see you next time.